some very smart person tell me what is a verbal? Becca?
Thought you were gonna ask what a gerund is.
What is a verbal? I'll come back to you for a gerund, John Carter.
A verbal, all from the brain here, is a verb form used as another part of speech, noun, adjective, or adverb.
Okay, so a verb form used as another part of speech. And then yesterday we talked about gerunds, and Becca, what is a gerund?
A gerund is a verb plus ing used as a noun.
Okay, verb plus ing used as a noun. Is that straightforward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hopefully the homework was not too difficult. I'm gonna point to people, and what we're gonna do is read what is the gerund in the sentence and what noun function is it performing. So I'll do number one. Whispering is the gerund and it's a subject. Matt, number two.
I had running and jumping as direct objects.
Okay, direct objects. Josie, number three.
I have sleeping, and it's a predicate nominative.
Sleeping is a predicate nominative. Amelia, number four.
I didn't get any.
Okay, so freezing and starving, it's easy to think those are gerunds, but why can they not be gerunds? Aiden. Aiden.
Oh, I thought because adjective, positive.
Because they're adjectives. There are positives, but they're not noun-positives. They're adjectives describing the dog, so there's no gerund. Okay, number five, Hudson.
I'm studying as a direct object.
Good. Studying is a direct object for number five. Eli, number six.
I got adverb. I don't think that's right.
No, because a gerund has
I didn't get it right.
got to be a noun, so just correct it. Charlotte, number six. Or,
I got a subject.
okay, what did you say is the gerund?
Surfing.
Sweetie, we're not all.
No, the first six.
The first six. Jerry found listening very difficult.
No, okay, sorry. Why did you say?
Because it's a number.
I got listening.
And what noun job is it doing?
A direct object.
Awesome, it's a direct object. Addison, number seven.
Nothing.
Nothing. Why not howling?
Because it's like describing what the wolf is doing.
Yeah, it's an adjective. Okay, we'll learn next week that that's a participle. Okay, what I renumbered is 8. Dominic?
Surfing is the subject.
Good. And Mariah, number 9.
I got studying as the object of preposition.
Okay. Okay, and then we're going to work on diagramming. Now today we're going to do gerund phrases, and that gets really, really wonky. So I want to make sure, and you guys are very good at this, that you ask any questions that you have. So we're going to do this a little bit differently. The people that diagrammed are going to come up and explain how they got what they got. So Josie, if you can come and do that, and Ian, if you can do the
Andrew,
thing.
you have a question? Who did five?
Sure.
Andrew was raising his hand.
I saw your hand up. Were you?
No, I think I was just. I think I was
Okay, so for this one, I did Mary because she's the subject, and then loves is the verb, and then the line because that's the subject verb line. And then I did like the rocket ship thing, and then running and jumping like that since they are the gerunds, and yeah.
What noun job are they doing?
Direct object.
So you say Mary loves what? Running and jumping. Okay, that's awesome. Good job. Okay, number 5, Tracy.
Okay, I is the subject, made is the verb, and studying is the direct object, and then priority is an object complement.
Yeah, how many people got that it's an object complement?
Not me.
And then my and top are adjectives.
Can I just say that was really hard throwback? What's under priority?
My and top, they're adjectives.
Okay, very good. So, Tracy, go ahead and stand up there. I'm gonna ask you, since I think you're the only one that got this, how did you know that priority was an object complement noun?
Well, it's renaming studying.
Right. And is it necessary to complete the meaning of the sentence?
No.
Could you have a sentence that said, I made studying?
No.
No, it doesn't make any sense. You need priority. So remember, an object complement noun, it completes the meaning of the sentence, and it describes describes or renames the direct object. It's a little bit like an appositive. You can sit down, Tracy. It's a little bit like an appositive, except it's necessary to complete the meaning of the sentence. And you do that little slanty line. So I just don't understand. Most of you didn't get it. Why are you not correcting your diagramming? You should be correcting your diagramming if you didn't get it. Becca,
I
question.
forgot.
Okay, yesterday, did y'all learn the little like
Stair
line?
step after you left.
Yes, got it.
I'm so sorry.
It's
But
okay.
just, now you know.
Yep.
And,
Now I
okay, so number 6, was that Amelia?
Yeah.
Okay, go up and tell us about that.
Why did we get number 3?
I was just trying to do the hard ones.
So, Mary is the subject, found is the verb, listening is the direct object, difficult is an adjective
Describing.
describing listening, and very goes under difficult because it's saying how difficult was it, very.
Okay, to what extent? Good. Okay, Alex, you're up.
I had surfing as the subject because that's the gerund and that's the subject. Then is the to be verb, so it's describing what surfing is.
Now wait, is this what?
To
What
be
type
verb.
of verb is it? You're right, it's a to be verb, but what, that's not one of our categories. What, it's a special kind of verb that, remember?
Oh, it's a linking verb.
Linking verb.
So, and then greatest is the predicate adjective, and one describes like which one of it. It's one of them, and then of is a predicate or preposition. Pleasures is the object of preposition is and
Okay.
life.
I'm gonna stop you because there's one fatal mistake in this. You cannot have a pronoun describing an adjective, so we can't have greatest. So, Alex, I'm gonna let you look at that and tell me, surfing is who or what? It's not greatest.
It's lives.
No, that's all part of a prepositional phrase. And I think you're getting confused because the answer to this question is a pronoun. Surfing is one. One. Okay? It's also a number, but it's being used as a pronoun here.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Can you change that?
Yes.
And actually, yeah, so, okay, sorry, you're so primitive, where's our, oh, here it is, okay. But that's okay, you can use your hand. So you guys, a number of people, when I was seeing this in classes, a number of people did this, so if you did that, remember, if something is an object of a preposition, it can't be a direct object, it can't be a predicate nominative. So is one of pleasure, okay? And then life's and greatest are both adjectives. Okay, Becca?
Is the line separating is in one slanted or straight?
It should be slanted
Slanted.
because it's a predicate nominative. And by the way, we're not diagramming number 3, but that's the same thing. If it's a predicate nominative, you're gonna have a slanted line. Okay, good job. And Alex, thanks for giving us that learning opportunity. Number 9, Mariah. Hey guys, please be making changes.
Why are you videoing me?
Okay, so Bill is our subject, past is our verb, course is the direct object, then we have a preposition which is without, then you have studying as your object of the preposition, and it's a gerund.
How did you know that prepositional phrase came under past?
Oh,
And how did you
because
know
it's an
it's
adverbial
How did you know it's
preposition.
adverbial?
Because it's answering,
How or better under what condition?
I was gonna say under what condition before.
Okay, good. That's awesome. Okay, so now you're gonna set it up so it's back at me. Remote learners, I hope that you all could see that, and you need to draw a Christmas tree next to your name on tonight's homework exercise B. So, turn it over, and we are going to talk about gerund phrases. Keep your mind open. Keep your heart rate slow. John Carter, could you read for us the definition of a gerund phrase? You want a minute? Okay.
If I read this perfectly without reading, stop.
You guys need to learn how to do comp without minutes. Okay? There'll be another day. Amelia.
Doesn't it show like starting
There's no
something that
promises.
You're right.
Bring me your study. Bring me your study.
It were like releases some.
And if that is a study, perhaps everyone should bring mints once. We'll
Okay.
spread it, because mints get
It
expensive.
releases like some sort of thing, like it triggers.
A stimulating hormone in your brain
Yeah.
where it makes you alert. Matt,
We go outside.
no, we need the board. And we're gonna need the computers in a minute.
A gerund.
Okay, shh. John Carter is speaking.
A gerund phrase is a gerund in any word or words that modify or complement it. The entire phrase acts as one noun.
Okay, so gerund phrase is more than one word, and it's any words that complement it. So look at the example. Playing hockey is demanding. Who?
That's not true.
Okay, what is your gerund? There's actually two ing words. What is the gerund in this? Matt?
I got one.
Playing. But notice it's not just playing, it's playing what, Matt? Hockey. So underline playing hockey. That whole thing is a gerund
Hockey's
phrase.
not an ing.
No.
Playing.
Playing is a gerund, and hockey goes with it.
I could have sworn you said another ing word.
But demanding at the, listen, this will only be more confusing if you guys are not paying attention. Demanding is another ing word. At the end, it's not a gerund. It's acting as a predicate adjective, okay? I'm not teaching you that today. We don't need to do anything, but just so you know, you can have an ing word, it's not a gerund. Okay, the second example, she loves swimming in the ocean. Eli, what's the gerund in that sentence?
Swimming.
Swimming. And then Hudson, there are words that go with that. Where does she like swimming?
Oh,
Excuse me, what did you say?
Where does she like swimming?
I've had
In
it.
the ocean?
In the ocean. That whole thing goes together, so underline that whole thing. Addison.
Why do these exist if they just make grammar like more confusing? Because it's a verb, right?
Yeah, like why can't we just do the verb and then
Exactly,
in
why
is
can't we
the
just,
direct
like, do a
object?
verb?
Because we have an advanced language, and I, again, do not know the origins of all these things, but it is what it is. I'm going to help you try to make sense of it. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to diagram these.
Oh.
So listen very carefully. Let's do the first one.
Ms. Childers,
Yes.
what is the difference between the second question, or the second sentence
Yeah.
and a verb and then, and
A
the prepositional phrase coming after?
Like a
Well, like, how can we
normal
see the
verb.
difference?
I am so glad that you asked, because now that you know the verb tenses, you know that a progressive verb, a verb that ends in ing, has to have a to be verb in front of it. That's the only way it can be a verb, is if it has a to be verb in front of it. So you can't just put it with any other verb. And also, it answers a noun question. She loves what? She loves an activity. She's not loving and swimming at the same time, right? So you're very good at analyzing, being philosophical. It's just, she's not loving and swimming. Swimming's not showing an action, showing an activity that she likes. Josie.
Why isn't in the ocean just like a prepositional phrase that would just go under in German?
Well, let's talk about where that will go in just a minute. It's going to go with the gerund. Matt, question.
So my question is, it doesn't look like in the first one that she's playing hockey in the moment, even though it says playing hockey, is it like playing hockey is demanding, and she's not actually playing it in that time?
Yeah.
So then why can't loves and swimming go together?
Why can't that just be a verb?
Okay, hold on just a second. It's not happening in the moment, Matt, because playing hockey is an activity. It's not an action. Now you could say, today I will, no, I can't even do that. My friends are playing hockey. Then it's a progressive verb. It's got a to be verb and it's in ing. But unless it has a to be verb in front of it, it is not acting as a verb. Addison.
But that's so weird. Like, why couldn't it just be like a verb phrase because it's saying like she loves something, like she loves swimming. Why
But
can't
she's
love-
not loving the action. She's not doing an action. She's loving an activity. I know.
But
This is deep. Hang with me. Josie, another question?
swimming is an action.
Swimming is an action, but it's also an activity.
So
It-
like
it
any
can-
verb could be
Like swimming is a
gerund.
Yes. Yeah. Verbs can be gerunds.
Well then how are there normal verbs anymore?
They're only,
Delete
Okay.
verbs.
stay with me. Let's try diagramming and see if this happens, if this helps.
This makes sense.
Okay,
I'm gonna be writing gerunds in my text now, and I'm gonna be like, this is not
okay,
good.
Addison, Addison, we don't have to understand the why, but I do want you to understand the what. Oh my goodness, you are hired. Okay, so we're gonna put this plain. We're gonna put that up on stair steps, like we learned. You guys got it?
Yes.
Hudson, did you write it down? You should be writing this on the sheet.
I'm on my phone.
And I just feel like doing a tall stilt. And then what is the verb is?
That's a really tall stilt.
It's a linking. It's a linking verb. So demanding, even though you don't know this right now.
Miss Childers, can I move somewhere? I couldn't see back there.
Yeah, and I don't wanna block everyone, to understand.
Oh, that was so scary. That
Excuse
would
that
have been
box.
terrifying. You can sit right there. That's fine.
Which one is it?
Okay. Deep breath. This is something new. So big picture. Plain is a gerund. It's a verb plus ing acting as a noun. Little picture, it's still a verb. Okay. And so, Addison, open your mind, close your mouth just for a second, and then you can bring your question, okay? So, I don't mean that as a slight. I love your questions, but let me say this. When you have a verb in a sentence, you would say is, who, or what. That's the next question you ask. So when you have a gerund, big picture, we go, it's a gerund, it goes up on stilts. Little picture, it's a verb. That defines its relationship with all the other words around it. So plain, who, or what? What's the answer to that? Hockey.
Hockey.
What?
Wait, so it has its own
Oh my god, no!
So that's why you
But
have
if
the
there's
big
no
stilt.
subject, so that's what there's no verb,
That's not-
so it can be a phrase.
Okay,
Can I like have some ads?
so you guys. Yes, I'll pass her an Advil in a minute.
Really? I actually have a headache. Dang, I've had a headache all day.
Quiet,
Go
then
back
she's gonna
home,
get a
go back
headache.
home.
Like, Jeez.
Oh,
Okay, you guys, write this on the side of your paper. This is something you need to know, and you already know it. Words in the English language can have more than one function. So a dual function, if like a duet is two people, a dual function is two jobs. So big picture, playing is an activity. It goes where the noun belongs. But little picture, in relation to the words around it, it's acting as a verb. Playing, who, or what? Hockey. Okay, Dominic, you've been patient.
So why don't you put demanding on stilts? Would that be a
Because demanding, and actually I have done this wrong because I don't want to confuse you. Demanding is a participle, and it's gonna go like this and like this. What? Oh my goodness! Cross it out. Playing hockey is fun. I didn't even say that. That was a bleep. Okay, you guys, if you stage an insurrection, it is being filmed, okay? Mrs. Plaza, turn the camera on the class if they start getting too crazy, okay?
I'm dead.
Miss Childers?
Okay, questions are good, but you guys, you cannot resent the answer. I just want you to try to understand the answer. And can I just tell you, Addison, I'm gonna ask you in a second. What's gonna help this make sense is doing some practice. And that's what I wanna do together. Addison.
Okay, so, you go back to like the front page, and then like you have freezing and starving, and we said like nothing for that word. So is that just like acting as an adjective?
Yep.
But how like?
So you're making a very good point. You look at what is it doing in the sentence? Is it describing? Adjective. Is it naming? Noun. Is it showing an action? Verb.
It's really simple to find the subject, but it's like not as simple to find like
everyone.
predicate noun or predicate nominative.
I would totally agree with you on that. So I do want to practice on this, and I want to try to do a chunk of homework with you. Charlotte.
How is hockey any different? What, like, why is it on stilt? Like,
Because, okay, great question.
Wait, is that its own direct object?
This is part of the gerund phrase. Any words that go with the gerund that describe it or complete it that whole thing is going to go on stilts. Okay? John Carter, question.
What about the long phrase? Like the long have.
You wanna do the next one? She loves swimming in the ocean?
No, I really don't, but I don't know what the difference is.
Okay, hold on, we're gonna do this. Okay, so you're writing this down as an example. She loves, and this is where, you guys, that direct object question is so important. She loves who or what? If there's an answer to that, it's a noun. So she loves swimming. So I'm gonna put swimming up here.
What?
Now, going with that is a prepositional phrase, in the ocean. What question does that prepositional phrase answer, Matt?
Where?
Where? So it is adjectival.
Adjectival.
Adverbial. Good, Matt. Okay. In
But, I mean, there's really no need, so.
the. Okay? Do you guys get that?
No.
This is describing where she likes swimming. It's a compliment. That whole thing goes up there. Amelia.
It honestly just helps if you think that's just how it is. You can't do anything about
Really? Amelia, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that.
So what I'm telling you is somehow possibly on our test, we can have a sentence that has this plus an independent clause plus a rocket ship.
Okay, you're running too far ahead. Okay, I'm not gonna do this to you on a rocket ship. Okay, Ian, you can put it there. I'm not gonna, if I write, I'll do it right here in the center, okay? But keep the film going. Okay, hey, so would you guys like to work together? So, let's just go through. Hey, we're gonna go through and do the first 3 together. So, Leah, I'm gonna start with you. In this first sentence, you're supposed to underline the gerund phrase. So what is the gerund phrase in number 1? Did you have any difficulty in finding the way? What? It is, and what is the phrase?
Finding the way.
Finding the way.
Good girl.
Okay, so you're gonna underline in finding the way, because that's all part of it.
But then.
And it is acting as an object of the preposition. You know that because it's preceded by a preposition.
But it's in the prepositional phrase, so shouldn't way be the object preposition?
Okay, so let's diagram this to answer that
What?
question.
No, please.
So you're gonna need another
Oh,
piece of
sorry, I thought I heard you
paper
laughing.
for diagramming. Hey, you guys, this is just making it harder for you guys. It is funny, it is hilarious, but right now I want you to focus. So I'm gonna show you the first one. You need a piece of paper. You're gonna diagram all of these except for number 10. So you did have, what did you have, Alex?
You did have difficulty finding the way. So I think it is, you did have then like difficulty as, yeah.
Okay, and then, so you guys, you had difficulty in finding the way. What type of prepositional phrase is that? What question does it answer?
How?
There's 10 on this one?
To what extent?
Where, when, why?
Where?
It's describing difficulty, okay?
That's
You
not
had,
asking your question.
it's what kind? Did you have any difficulty? What kind of difficulty? Difficulty in finding the way.
You have a hard difficulty. How can you? Yeah, a difficulty is hard. It's a difficulty.
A difficulty is a noun.
You don't have a good, easy difficulty. You have any easy difficulty down there? I sure am.
Okay.
Headache. Had it all day.
We're all just gonna go to Mrs. Strickland's office all asking for Advil.
You're going to be so happy to go to humanities or wherever you go next.
No,
Not really.
That's just gonna make my head hurt.
Hey, you guys, listen, I need you to have a little intellectual perseverance right now. So look, you did have difficulty. What kind of difficulty? In, and then it's acting as the object of the preposition,
And
but
then you
it's a
put the way
gerund.
under it?
Well, now we go big picture. We know this is a gerund. Little picture, it's acting as a verb. So we say in finding who or what. What's the answer? Way. Way.
Well, but what is?
John Carter's brain is
John Carter, just accept it.
Okay, Addison.
Okay, so why would difficulty not be one of those things where it has like the slanted line?
Because this is not a linking verb. No.
Well, that's helping verb.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
you
it
need to
only has that
capitalize
line. And what
only
is
if
that
it's a
called again?
linking verb.
A predicate adjective?
Yes.
Miss Childers.
Like if you said you are a difficulty, yes, it would be a predicate.
Don't you have to capitalize the D, because that's the first one.
Oh, Becca, very good.
And then make that, yeah.
Okay, Charlotte.
So, is difficulty the direct object?
Yes.
But how?
You did have what? What did you have? Difficulty.
It's accepting the action.
Wait, but writing that down there, but when you have that line that only goes on one side, doesn't that mean it's the DO? So that means that way is the DO of finding?
Yes.
But
That's it. That's it.
But that's an object preposition.
What? Okay, so you guys, I'm going to say this again. Big picture. This is an object of a preposition. Once you put it on the stilts, you treat it as a verb and you go finding who or what? Finding way. What kind of way? The way.
So
But I
your
thought-
object preposition has a direct object.
Yes.
But I thought in finding the where was the entire prepositional phrase.
It's the entire gerund phrase.
But that's a preposition.
Okay, Amelia, can you just say what you said a minute ago?
Just do it and see it that way and accept that that's how she's doing it.
Okay, hold on now. It's not how I'm doing it. Long before I was born, there were gerunds and there was diagrams. Because, Aiden. May you what? Yes.
In a way, Jesus.
Okay, Mariah.
Why not though on the line that's like already there? And why does that be on the stilty line?
Okay, shh.
No way.
Where do you want to put way?
I want to put it on the line below.
Down here?
Yeah, that's how we do. That's exactly where I want to put it.
Okay. Because you guys, that's a good question. You're looking at what are the words that go with the gerund. Finding would not make any sense without way, the way. These are connected, so any words connecting to the gerund go up on
But they're
stilts.
connecting because of the legs if they're even on the bottom.
No, they're connecting in meaning and relationship.
If you say you have been finding, you have been is a verb. Wait, no, but finding, how can that not just be a regular verb? Or no, how can that not be a gerund if there's no way?
Okay. I just want you to put it right here. Are they?
It was blurry a little
The
bit.
Jubinjets are coming, I promise.
Okay.
So I'll just, whenever you're done diagramming, I'll
You can just turn it around and film the class while they're asking questions. Alex. Hey! So you got, what, you guys? So let me just remind you, there is a difference between asking questions to understand and asking questions that are in the form of a complaint or humor. So right now, it's really important that we get through these. I want to answer your questions to understand. But you bashing on gerunds does not help us understand gerund phrases. Okay, Alex.
I know why everybody's heads are hurting. It's because when you learn something new, your brain gets a new wrinkle in it.
Thank you.
So that
Neural
so you're
paths
learning
are
so
being
much
formed.
stuff new. That's why your head hurts. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure neural paths are dying.
But you guys need to have some tolerance of this. Okay, Tracy. Addison, I should not hear you unless you're asking a question of the class. Yes.
Is constant an adjective or is it an adverb?
Which one are you looking
That
at?
sentence describes me. Constant worrying was her downfall.
Constant's an adjective.
That's me.
Yeah.
How does an adjective
Constant overthinking.
It's describing worrying.
But it's a verb.
Miss Childers.
Worrying is a gerund.
Miss
Oh, but you're saying, whoa. Yeah. It's an adverb. You're right.
Miss Childers.
Good job. You're turning my questions against me.
I
Okay.
know, same.
On the way on the the DO of the gerund, could that also be, could that be a rocket
Close
ship?
it, close it. Could it all,
Like, could that also be, two things, like it could be a difficulty in finding the way and the truth? Could that turn into a rocket ship, so could you make a rocket ship off that too?
it could, but I won't ever do that. Okay? Okay, I'm glad you can imagine that. Number 2,
Wait, we're only on.
some of you are just going on. Okay, Andrew, for you. Number 2, what's the gerund?
Shoveling.
Dominic? I need you guys to get control. Addison? Control.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the gerund?
Shoveling.
Are there any words that go with it?
Coal.
Coal. Okay, so shoveling coal is hard work. So your gerund phrase is shoveling coal.
Subject.
So look here, you're gonna do shoveling up here. Shoveling. Big picture, it is a gerund. Little picture, for that phrase, it acts as a verb. So shoveling,
So this is a normal one?
no.
Things the normal.
Shoveling who or what? Eli, shoveling who or what?
Shoveling the coal.
Coal, that's our direct object. Okay, is work.
My brain's trying to.
I'm really surprised you guys are writing this down.
I am.
I'm writing it. It's in my brain.
Okay, Josie.
It's in your neural paths.
Verb also be a subject of a sentence. Just like shoveling is a verb, because you're shoveling the coal, but it's also the subject.
Yay.
Okay, so Tracy, this is really hard. It's a dual function. It is described, it is an activity right here. Shoveling coal is an activity that is work. It's functioning like a noun, but when we diagram the phrase, we zoom in and treat it as a verb. So the best analogy I have is big picture. It's a gerund, it's acting as a noun. Little picture, when you break down its role in that phrase, just in the phrase, you're treating it as a verb. Okay? By faith, just take that.
what do we write on the line?
So you're writing your gerund, and then anything
No,
else.
like on here.
You're writing what part of speech, what noun job it's doing. So for number 2, what's the noun job? What's shoveling coal? What noun job is it doing?
Shoveling. Oh, wait.
The subject.
Subject.
The subject.
You just underline shoveling?
Shoveling coal. Okay, Mariah.
So then why isn't is on the top?
Because this is your main. Remember when you were diagramming sentence skeletons? And a sentence skeleton is always a horizontal line that has at least a subject or a verb. So you keep the sentence skeleton, this is a noun, but when you put a gerund in the place of the noun, you indicate its gerundness by putting it on steps.
Gerundus?
Okay, Alex.
So like, I just want like a little brain fart, but like, if you, like for the shovel then ing, if you had a word that's like lying, would you just put ly then ing, or would you put lie then ing?
L-Y-I-N-G.
Oh, okay, I thought like you do like the regular verb and then like. the
I'm not
ing.
too hung up on this, like how you split it, but your ing is supposed to be on the lower step. Amelia.
I think I get it. Like, so when you're looking it up like that, what you said, like you're indicating it's a gerund. And then when you put coal next to it, it's the direct object of the verb shoveling, or shoveling's kind of like a verb, but it's a noun at the same time.
So is the verb. Yeah.
Coal
Yes.
is the direct object.
Of the main clause, this is the verb.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes, Josie.
So if you have two, like, I guess in this instance you technically don't have two direct objects, but in like a different sentence you could have two direct objects.
You
but
could.
one subject or-
You could have a direct object of a phrase. Now remember, a phrase does not have a subject and a verb. A clause does. So this is a gerund phrase. When we zoom in, we treat it as a verb, and it has a direct object. Okay? But big picture, its place in the sentence is it's operating as the subject, which is a noun.
So then what is coal?
So coal is what we're shoveling, that completes the meaning. We're not just saying shoveling is work. You
But can we
need the
say that?
coal to complete the phrase. Shoveling coal is work. Okay, Tracy?
And there's something describing, like, so say that something is describing shoveling.
Yeah,
We
what
put
it,
it under shovel or in.
it doesn't matter, but I think it's easier to do it under your main part, okay? This doesn't make sense, but yes, you could have adjectives off of this.
Oh, wait,
You could have
I missed that.
You could, what if you had, actually, because this is acting as a verb, let's do number 5, okay? Because this one illustrates this. On number 5, who
Wait.
wants to tell us what's the gerund phrase? John Carter.
Worrying.
Okay, worrying, but there is another word that goes with worrying.
Constant.
Constant worry.
Wouldn't
What-
that just be like an adjective?
First try.
Describing it?
Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna do our worrying. Okay. And then we're gonna do was what, downfall, you've got a linking verb, so that's gonna be a predicate nominative. And that's gonna be her. Okay, and then this is describing worrying.
What if I put constant, like, where the ing is?
That's fine, that's fine, it doesn't matter, wherever it works best. So constant is describing worrying. Mm-hmm. You really wanna leave this? No, I guess you can. Okay, so, do you guys see that? What words go with it? So flip back over, let's see if we can fill in number 3 and 4. So I prefer waiting for the bus. Charlotte, what is the gerund phrase?
What number?
Number 3. What's the gerund phrase? So find the gerund first. What's that?
Waiting.
Waiting. And what type of waiting? What goes with it?
I prefer waiting.
No, the words that go with waiting are, Amelia,
For a bus.
for a bus. So underline waiting for a bus.
For a bus, isn't that a preposition, right?
So you do the gerund and any words that modify or complement it. So
But it's
for a
still-
bus is describing what kind of waiting.
But it's still preposition.
It's still prepositional phrase, it goes with the gerund, so it's part of the gerund phrase. Okay, what? Yes. Yes. And then let's just do number 4. Addison, I'm gonna let you do this. What is the gerund phrase?
What do you say?
What's the gerund phrase?
The gerund phrase is, by delivering papers.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
What would it be, what is it?
Isn't that an object preposition?
Object of a preposition.
But
Josie.
it's not-
We're talking about a game.
Hey, listen, what, Josie?
What was number 3's like,
Waiting for a bus.
like what would you put in the blank?
Okay, so you asked the question, I prefer waiting. Big picture, it's a direct object. Little picture, treat it as a verb. Why are you waiting? Under what condition are you waiting? For a bus. Okay? There's a reason why this is our last grammar unit.
Hey, someone's trying to get in the door.
Okay.
I think they're trying.
No,
to
you
get-
can open the door. I hope it's not locked.
No, it keeps locking when it's shut.
Okay.
Take me.
Okay, you guys, take a minute to work on this. You have, listen, you will not diagram. This is your same homework, except you're doing B and you're diagramming 1 through 9. And we can stop that. The video.